What is going on? What is going on? What is going on with my view? What is going on with my view here? Let's try to get myself in focus here because I'm completely out of focus. And you be quiet. Ah, that's the problem. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. What is going on, everybody? Um, that's not me trying to get things working, and they're not working the way they're supposed to be, but that's okay. Welcome to this Halloween edition of Tech Thursday. Multiple multiple glitches here. Starting with the fact that my lens, this lens, would not go on my camera. No matter how hard I tried, it would not go on my camera. So we're just gonna fix this frame real quick because this looks kind of crappy. So let's fix this frame and we'll just move this. Fit to screen. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, welcome out today. It is a wonderful Halloween Thursday. I don't know if you guys are big Halloween fans, but once you get to a certain point, I think you just kind of stop kind of caring about certain things. And Halloween is one of them. I mean, when you're a kid, you run out, you go have a good time. Then you get a little older and then you don't go out. And then, you have some kids and then they go out. I'm just taking my comments so I can read the comment section. And then they go out and then, you just kind of stay home. Now, to be fair, I am working tonight. I got called in to do a gig at Level 8. It's a club in Hollywood, or I should say LA. So that's where I'm going to be later tonight from 9 to 1. I think I'm going to be outside there's 2 rooms. I'm going to be in one of the rooms. I don't know. A lot of old school throwbacks is what I guess I will be playing tonight. Literally, they no lie, just booked me late last night. So I have no idea what to expect. This will be all new to me, but that's okay because, hey, we're professional DJs. That's kind of our job, right? Sometimes I look around and when I'm reading comments and people are like, oh my God, I have this. How do I do it? What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. No fiend. There will be no fiend. That sounds throwback to me. But people are always asking about what they should do. And I don't think about it like that. I just need to know around what period am I playing? And as a DJ that has been DJing for a long time, you should know what to play. You should know the things that work. These things are the kinds of things that are a part of just being a professional. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that I have a good time doing it. The funny thing is, I said no to a couple of gigs today because I was like, I kind of just want to stay in. Okay, so full disclosure, we bought this house, I want to say around 2018. And since my children have been young, we've gone to friends' houses. So there's this really, really cool place in Calabasas. It's in the not the commons, but it's up in the hill, and it's the place that all the actors and sports people. I call it behind the gate. We literally started our business in that neighborhood. Like all of our clients for the first, I want to say 3 years or so, most of them were in that thing. Anyway, the Kardashians live there, the Britney Spears, some movie stars, they all live in that thing. So that's where a lot of our first clients were. So we happen to have some friends up there, and every year they would invite us out, and we go, and there's just one major street in this neighborhood. It's all gated, so you can't even get in there unless you're on a list. And there's just one street, and it's packed. They probably buy, I don't know, $1,000 worth of candy. Like it's that much traffic the entire time. And I mean, we've literally walked into like Kim Kardashian's house. She's like, "Oh, I'm doing my thing, come blah blah blah." Like it's that kind of thing. Anyway, we've been doing that every year for years. We bought this house in 2018, and I have never been home. I have never been home to see if anybody even comes to our door. Like I have no idea what the traffic is in our area. So I was like, you know what? I think I'll just stay home this time. My daughter's going out with her friends and my wife's going, and I'm like, I don't know this lady you're going with. You just go. I'll see you guys afterwards. So I was gonna stay home. Thursday night football, watch the game, enjoy. So I kept saying no to gigs. And then another one came up, and it was last minute. It happened to be a promoter friend of mine. We go way, way back, and he's like, "Look, I'm in a kind of a bind." Yes, we do turn the lights off, Kayla. I'm in a bit of a bind, so I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it for you." So I'm working tonight. I'm working, which is also kind of strange because I haven't really been DJing for the past couple of months. I mean, I have a bar mitzvah this weekend in the Bay Area, and but I've been doing so many video walls, and for after this week, I have a video wall the following week, then no wall, and then I have video walls for 3 weeks in a row. So I haven't really been DJing, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Music doesn't change that fast. So we'll be okay. Jerusalem says, do families drive in from other neighborhoods to go to there? Yes, absolutely. It is. There's thousands of people on this road. Like when you're walking down the road, it's like a mob just going. There's people on one side, people on the other, and it's just packed. So fortunately, since we know the family, we get in there early enough, so we get there before it starts to get crazy. But like, when my kids were younger, we would go out, I don't know, 6:30-ish, 6:30, sometime around there. And then we'd hit all the stuff. But by like 7:30, it is like a nightclub on that street. There's music and everybody goes all out on their decorations. And it's just insane. It's insane. So it was always a good time. But you get to a certain point, you're kind of done with it. Why are these things not popping up on my screen here? Where's my social chat? Let me bounce some things around here. All right, DJ Gino, it's not coming up on my screen, but DJ Gino says, and thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you. Why isn't this coming up? Says, happy Halloween, CT. Put this towards some candy for your trick-or-treaters. Thanks again for your continued great content. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, Gino. Thank you. Sign into chat. Here we go. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chats. They really do go a long way. Especially considering, I don't know what's going on with my kid's school. My kid goes to Loyola Marymount University, and it's his first year. And for whatever reason, we did all the loan stuff and all the stuff and filled it all out. Everything was fine. When we first signed in, there's this, if you guys don't have children, if you haven't done the whole federal loan stuff, there's a site called FAFSA, FAFSA, and it's basically the federal student loan thing. So when we first initially set it up, the date was wrong in his birth date. So we changed it before we applied for anything. It was all changed. Then we applied, and for whatever reason, apparently they've been sending messages to my son saying, "Hey, you have an outstanding balance. You have an outstanding balance," over and over again. He didn't tell us. So the school calls us, or no, he calls us and says, "Hey, I can't drop my class because, and I can't add any more classes because," and I'm like, "Well, why didn't you tell us about this before?" I didn't know. I didn't know. But you've been getting these emails. Come on, man. Can you not be 18 for half a second? Can you please? Anyway, uh, we're like, everything's fine. We've already been approved. Everything's good. Like, but the date's wrong. So we can't fund the money. I said, but the dates have been right the whole time. And they're like, sorry, I don't know what on our side. And we go into the system. We're like, the date's correct. I don't know what you're saying. So I got to do that after this call. I got a call. You know what? So this whole, you should DJ outside. I thought about it for like half a second, 1 year of my life. As a matter of fact, I DJ'd 1 year there, 1 year in Calabasas, and it went over well. People loved it. Now, because we have a lot of clients up there, they all knew me. So it's just like, hey, 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 over and over again. And it was fun, but I was like, this is not what I want to do on my things, on my Halloween. So I stopped doing it. I did it one time. I'm done. Anyway, DJ Theo says we usually do that in my neighborhood. Yeah, that's cool. So, this is actually a very good point, because that's one of the things that does happen. So I think I realized why DJs decide, they've been doing great, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm not DJing anymore, but they still have a successful company. And I think ultimately what I've determined is, it's not that people stop DJing because because they can't DJ. That's never the case. And it's not because they choose to not DJ. It's because they found a way to make more money doing something else in the same field, in the same vicinity. But like, I know multiple DJs that were huge DJs. Now they just do AV. Now they just do, lighting installs and all that stuff. There is something to be said about profit margins. And profit margins are kind of a funny thing, because depending on what it is that you do, your profit margins are going to be off. So if, for instance, you're a multi-op, or you're a one man, whatever, maybe you're a one man with the guy, or with a partner, or whatever. But let's say you're a multi-op. What ends up happening is you realize that, yes, I'm making enough to live, and business is great, everything's great. But the problem is, Drew Slim with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, fam. Whoever got the memberships, thank Drew Slim for taking care of you. Thank you. Anyway, what you find out, and this is in a lot of fields, okay? Anytime you have people involved, where you have actual talent, the DJ is a talent, your MC is a talent, you're going to pay your talent more than you're going to pay your standard, utility workers. Okay? So what that means is, the more parties you have, yes, the more money you make, but also the more overhead that you pay out. Now, hopefully it balances out, so you make more money than you pay out. Obviously, that's the idea. But the reality is, there's a lot of money going out for talent. A lot. So if you're trying to figure out how to make more money, then you need to add more services. You need to add more services. CT is pulling a COVID on you. What does COVID do? I don't know what COVID does, Mixmaster. Let me know. So you add more services, and by adding more services, now you're making more money off those services, because maybe you're renting up lights, you're renting LED walls, you're doing all these things. And then you realize, hey, there's more money in that. There's less overhead on these types of things. So when you start doing lighting installs and LED walls and all that stuff, your overhead is super low. So your profit margins are really, really high. Oh, sorry. That's what I just covered out. Drew Sim, not Drew Slim. My bad. My bad. Um, I would hardly call that a butcher, though. That's not a Kova butcher. Kova would have called him like Do Simone. But so yeah, so one, I'm trying to focus on getting this business up, my AV install lighting business. Um, I'm doing more work. I'm doing more work. But the margins are so much higher than my bar. So, I mean, it's probably, I would say my profit margins on a video wall, uneven lighting might be a little lower, but my profit margins are probably around 70 to 80%. Like, it's so much higher than the regular DJ stuff. So much higher. And other people are like, well, just make your profit margins higher. It's like, okay, well, yeah, but you want to stay in business when you DJ too. So that's why people do this. If you get into lighting, if you start building a lighting company up, your profit margins are so much higher than your DJ margins, because again, talent costs more money than workers do. You might pay talent, you know, $600, $1,000 for talent to do something. You pay your standard worker $300, $400 max. So just doing the math right there can tell you like how much more profit margin you can get from it. So the company that we're building on is going to help my retirement. But the bottom line here is, this happened. I was in a meeting yesterday with my DJ manager. By the way, we have a DJ manager, we have an MC manager, we have a dancer manager, and we pay them all to train and to make sure that all of our people are trained and are up to snuff. That costs money, a lot of money, but it keeps our standards high, and it keeps us operating what I like to believe above the competition because of this. But, it's a lot of money going out, but but we were having this conversation yesterday, and I flat out said to the DJ manager, look, they all have to be operating at a certain level, bottom line, because if they're not, then people are interested in any of our other services because we're not good enough to do it. We're literally passing off business from our successful business to create this new business. We're leveraging. Okay. But you can't leverage your DJ company if it's trash. So the more people that come in to book us, no matter what, it could be cheap people, high-end people, no matter what, those people are looking for other things. Let's say it's super cheap people. Super cheap people are like, hey, we don't have a lot of money, but we want to throw a bar mitzvah, we want to throw a wedding, but we don't have a lot of money. And I'm like, cool. Okay, well, you know what? Our lighting will be cheaper than your outside lighting company that's going to charge you a minimum. There's going to be a minimum. There's no lighting company that's not going to want to operate if they don't have their set number that they've deemed, works for them. But we can do things outside of that. So we're always able to, push over to some of our other services. If you're high end, same thing. They're like, hey, we want to do all this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we do this, but just check around and see. But the moment I throw that in their ear, because I've thrown that in their ear before they've booked anybody else, Usually they call us, they haven't booked the venue, they haven't booked the party planner, coordinator. So I have a leg up, you know, and so we can get those people. And then also the coordinators that we have relationships with, they know that we do this stuff. And, you know, and we have a lower introductory price, like for our wall, for anything. We try to take care of our people. The price will end up going up, but right now it's at a good number, but it's not at a great number. Like I know people, other companies out there for video walls. There's one lady she's really good. I'm not saying she's not. She charges like 10K for her walls, you know, because it's her and her talent to do the video DJing that she can demand those numbers. And she's working with these upper level party planners who money's no object to them, you know. It's not they'll pay whatever the party planner says. So they never have to worry about negotiating, haggling price wise. We still do because we're operating on a lower tier, but we do have planners that will book us all the time now. And that's happening, which is why we have, you know, 3 over the next 4 weeks. Not complaining. That's what I want, but a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I end up not doing other things because of it. So, you know, everything suffers because I'm focusing on this. When you start a company, and this could be anybody, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about AV. I'm not talking about LED walls. I'm talking about when you start a company. The one thing that has always really pissed me off when people start companies is when they start companies just to say they started a company. Okay. Yeah, man, I got this. I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I know, King Biggs, that didn't come off right, but I got you. You know, and they automatically, you know, they start their company. They're hiring people on to do things. I'm a business owner. I don't have time to do this low level stuff. I'm going to hire somebody else to do it. Meanwhile, your dollars, your expenses are going through the roof. And next thing you know, you've spent all your money and you can't afford to do anything. You go out of business. When you start a business, expect to work a crap ton of hours. Expect to do all the things that you don't want to do. Like that's just what it takes to start a business. Then when you reach a level where the money is better and you can bring on that assistant, that partner, whatever, then you do it. But you don't do that before you're moving forward. You know, a friend of mine started her dance company with Charlize Theron, and my kid goes there. But I don't think there's been a day since they opened their doors in September. I drop my kid off pretty much every day there. I don't think there's been a day that they have not been there working. The husband and the wife, not one day. Because you got to put in a lot when you first start a business up. You put in a lot of work, especially if you want it to succeed. Lehman says, to say we don't have a lot of money for this party and the same person who lives in Southern California, such a contradiction. Not at all. It's exactly what you would expect. You're spending so much money to live in Southern California that maybe you don't have a lot of extra cash. Very, very common. Very common. It's very expensive to live in California. I have my kid's bat mitzvah next year, and I'm like, where am I going to come up with this money to pay for this? I mean, fortunately, I have everything, but it all adds up. It all adds up, you know. It's in the ones that make me laugh are not just the regular people that are like, my budget's low. You know, I had one just a week ago who called me. It was like, my kid sees you guys at all their parties and he wants you guys. And I said, what is it, a fun mitzvah? No, it's just a party at my house. And, you know, but he wants what he saw here. And the first thing on my mind was like, you can't afford it. You can't afford it. you know? So without even questioning, I'm just like, hey, okay, well, but before we go any further, what's your budget? What are you looking to spend on DJ entertainment? And she's like, oh, I want to spend, like $1,000. I'm like, we can't do it. We can't do it. I told her, I'm like, this is how much we cost. This is how much your son saw us do. This is how much it cost. And even if I try to come lower, it's still going to cost too much for you. And if this were a Friday, a Sunday, I can work some deals, but I can't work deals on a Saturday. Can't do it. It's not in the cards. Can't do it. So, and I told her, I said, got to stick to your guns. My employees are going to expect to make Saturday pay. So if I'm like, anybody want to work for, a third of what you normally make on a Saturday night, and it's the same amount of time, and it's all of this, and they're going to be like, nope, nobody wants to work. So it is. So, okay, let's try. I want to show one thing because I'm actually interested in, but I actually need, I need my computer for it. So give me half a second to get my computer. I don't have any spooky, video transitions, or holds, I should say. So give me half a second. We're not even gonna, actually we'll keep it.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you for answering the door. You guys available on July 1st? Yeah, we're available. Do you have a brochure I can take a look at? Here you go. This all looks good. Can you send me out a contract? Here's your contract. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, see here. Just go ahead and sign it and send it in your deposit. Okay. Are you gonna sign it? If you need to take some time, go ahead. Just send it in when you're ready. All right, thank you. Hey, sorry I took a little while, but I'm finally ready to sign the contract. So if you can just send me. Yeah, we are no longer available for that date. You're not available? Sorry. Well, can you recommend another DJ?
Okay, so make this a little smaller, on, off. Okay, new MacBooks. DJ Dell in the building, what's going on? New MacBooks and a new Mac Mini. By the way, have you seen this Mac Mini? This Mac Mini is insane. This is the new Mac Mini. It's insane. Absolutely insane. I almost want to buy one just because I don't care about Apple Intelligence. Oh, that's FedEx. Give me half a second, guys. FedEx is here. Hold on. I missed them yesterday. So unfortunately, hold on. Okay, back to this. Yes, I was waiting for a delivery yesterday and it didn't show up. So I typically go into the office um, around like, 1 or 2 on weekdays. And my wife had an optometrist appointment. So she's like, please go. So I ended up going there. It was like, I don't know, right around 2 o'clock. And then the FedEx shows up and he's like, hey, I have a package for you. I'm like, dude, can you drop it off to the neighbor? No, it's got to have your name on it. So a lot of these companies, when they send product out, especially, new or unreleased product, they don't want it just to go to anybody. And so they wouldn't leave it. And I'm like, okay, well, didn't just bring it tomorrow. I'm glad that it wasn't something that I absolutely needed, but I have been, I missed the deadline for a lot of these products from Alpha Theta. That's why some of my reviews will be late this time. Like for instance, with the Flex 2 that just came out, I've actually used it for like maybe an hour, but I haven't had a chance to really review it. So I did my review on the Flex and I did my review on the AZ. But here's the thing. The AZ, I got an early copy so I could do the video, but they hadn't sent me the full like retail version yet. It just showed up, the AZ. So I'm going to really, like I did my first look, my live review, but I'm actually going to really check it out and use it for the next couple of weeks here. Not out. I'm not taking that big ass thing out with me, but I'm going to use it and then give a proper review. But I have several things that I need to review. I mean, headphones I need to review, even though they are very good. Spoiler alert, they're very good. I need to do the review for the headphones. I need to do the review for the Flex 2, and then the final for that. And there's more stuff on its way. This is gonna be some okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. And because I don't want to make Mac Joseph too excited yet. I don't want to make Mac Joseph too excited yet. The review will come. The review will come when it's ready. I mean, I did the same thing with when I finally reviewed Virtual DJ, and it took me a minute, and it was two videos. 2 videos. That's how long that review was. I like to be thorough. And I was talking to DJ Angelo yesterday. Flux. Not really. I was talking to DJ Angelo yesterday, and I was kind of explaining some of my issues with it. And he's like, we need to get you out here so you can really work with the people, because my complaints are valid. I know a lot of people are like, it's perfect. Don't worry. And I'm like, well, it's great, but I do have some issues. And he's like, yeah, we're trying to work on them. They've been working on some other stuff. I'll just say it right now. They're working on some other stuff. There's some, I don't use this term lightly. I really don't. But there's some game changer stuff on the horizon for Algorithm DJ. There is some game changing stuff. That is all I will say. I will not say anymore. You will know soon enough. Yeah, I was pulling a Mojax. So the funny thing is, I saw Mojax's video at the same time, at the same time as everybody else. Okay. And I know Mojax is privy. I said this to you guys a couple weeks ago. I know Mojax is privy to things that maybe I'm not, and it is what it is. He has earned this. So more power to him. But I was like, so I had texted Angelo like, hey man, you're going to show me whatever you're showing Mojax. And he was like, oh, I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I go to my WhatsApp, like maybe a few days later after I talked to him via DM, and he had already messaged me like 3 weeks ago, but I never got the notification on my WhatsApp. So, we had our call, Google Meet video yesterday, and game changer. It's game changer. Yeah, yeah, it's a game changer, and it's not that it's a game changer. It's a game changer right now, uh, but it's got potential to be a like paradigm shift for DJs. I'm not exaggerating. I'm just telling you what the facts are. That's all I will say. That's all I will say. Uh More game changing than when Stems came out. Yes. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Yes. It's a fundamental change. Okay. No more. I'm not saying any more. Not saying any more, but you're going to know more sooner than later. That's all I'm saying. I will tell you this, DJ is not buying Serato. That's not in the cards. Yeah, we do. We do. A lot of people have been look, and for whatever reason, okay, I never want to blame a company for why they are what they are, but in general, we have had some stagnation in the DJ software world. We have. And I think one of the things that we have to realize is everything is so good now. Okay? Everything is so good. The hardware, so good. The software, it's all stable and gives us most of the features that anybody ever wants is pretty much on all the software. So I can understand that there's this point where they're like, well, everybody's DJing, nobody's complaining. Yeah, we got to work on our database, and yeah, we got to, work on our GUI, and yeah, we got to, there's all these things. We got to make it to where you can stream more than one source at the same time. There's things like that, but it's not a showstopper, if that makes sense. It's not a showstopper. So if you are a lot of DJs, a lot of Serato DJs specifically, a lot of Serato DJs come from vinyl. Like Serato is like it's kind of like if you're looking at Rain versus Denon. You say Rain is for the DJs, for the turntablists. That's why we use it. And then Denon is for the regular people, the controllers, the private event guys, even though it's all one and the same. That's kind of the way, software is too. People are like Serato, that's for the turntablists, that's for the vinyl guys. It emulates, and it really does emulate well. And then you have the other side. Oh, okay. Oh, you want to use virtual DJs? That's for the mobile guys. The ones that need to have, karaoke on one day and video mixing on another day, and all that stuff. That's what they think of the people. DJ kind of sits in this kind of hybrid because, obviously when you're like, even though DJ's been around since pretty much iOS had apps, but it was always deemed a toy. Okay. It hasn't been up until the last, maybe, 5 years where, it started to move the needle, especially the last 3 years where it's really, really moved the needle. So, people are only looking at Serato and or virtual DJ. Record box people, I don't really think that they don't move the needle. It's really just Serato and then whatever else. And when I tell you, there are so many Serato people, Pablo Miami in the building, what's going on? There are so many Serato people that legitimately have no idea that there's any other software that's as good or better than Serato. No idea. And that's crazy to me that people can just ignore any other options out there. Now, I say that's crazy to me because I'm the guy that, you know, does this for a fake living. But because before, when I was in my more stubborn days, I was one of those people. There's nothing better than Serato. Virtual DJ? What do you mean? Winamp? I'm not going to virtual DJ. That's trash. Record box? What? It only works for Pioneer stuff. Why would I want to do that? That's stupid. Serato is where it's at. And then DJ comes around. Kind of changes things. It's good stuff. Kalo says, that actually makes me sad. The folks on Road podcast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're Serato for life. Serato for life. And it is what it is. Roll with it. You know, nobody's saying that, and it's an industry thing. So obviously Road podcast, you know, people like Road, Mojax. I mean, even myself, you know, it's like people always ask, what are you using? What are you using? They want to know. They want to see if they should change. We're close. We're close. I think that a couple years ago when DJ showed up at NAMM, that was a huge thing for them. And I think it opened up a lot of doors and it opened up a lot of people's eyes. It really did. The problem is, after the fact, they kind of stopped. So I have already encouraged them, and not that I have any pull with algorithm, but like yesterday, I'm like, you're going to be at NAMM, right? And they're like, we're working on it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You can't try for something like this. You need to be there. I don't care if it seems expensive. I don't care if it seems, people need to touch and feel this. You absolutely need to be there. You need to be there. You need to experience it firsthand. That's all I'll say. I mean, Mixmaster, you're right, but they were there. You know what I mean? Like they were at the Reloop booth, and then also remember, who was it? They had a booth at the Techniques booth where Revolution, I think even Qbert was on at some point during that weekend, where they did demos off of that. Remember, Revolution was DJing off his iPad, and people were like, "Oh my God, he's using his iPad and he's scratching and look at that. That's amazing," you know. So yeah, they were there, and people were getting a feel where they were going places. It's kind of like when you went to Expo this August, and even though Rain in Music, they weren't at the convention, every single booth had the Rain performer in it. Like pretty much every booth, they had sponsored it that way. So people were able to see the performer over and over again, kind of stuck in their head. So it was smart. They need to do that. Okay, let's see here. Wouldn't be a party without Pablo here. Okay, let's see here. I know there was a question up top. Let me go up real quick. Yeah, I can't bring an AZ out. It's just too big. All right, let me see if there were some asks. All right. Philip says, I purchased the 2023 Mac M2. I have Serato DJ Pro. And after it loaded, an error message 1009 pops up. I don't know what message 1009 pops up. But I will say this, that typically speaking, people don't allow for their audio. They don't give the audio, the microphone audio path rights. And then you run into errors. That's usually the thing, because a Mac 2 23 should absolutely work. Absolutely. Let's see. 109 error. Serato. Let's see if anything pops up. All right, here we go. Error code 1009. There's one in Pioneers DJ Forum. And these glasses are not going to work for this distance. I'm getting old, people. I'm getting old. Having to wear glasses now. Okay. Error code. Here we go. Serato. I've tried this step. I am still having the same issue. Sorry, that is the wrong one. No audio is coming out of my Flex 6 headphones, MacBook, or my connected speakers. I have the record box. That sounds like the audio. It sounds like you didn't allow for audio to pass through. Off the top of my head. I could be absolutely wrong, but off the top of my head, that's what it sounds like. Okay. Let's go to. We'll come back. We'll come back to the Mac in a minute. We'll come back to the Mac. Can't be iOS because he's using Serato, peeps. Okay. Do you think we are secretly training AI through our DJ software? I haven't read the terms and conditions of VDJ and Rekordbox. We are training AI in everything we do in life. Everything we do in life, we are training. It's just facts. It's facts. There's no way around it. They're going to use us until they don't need us anymore. Yes, I absolutely believe that. Okay. All right. And it still runs smooth as butter. Yeah, that M1 Mac. The problem with Apple is the M1 was just so good off the bat. The M1 has been great. But I'm starting to see a little bit of signs of some of these new software, some of these new things are giving me a couple of glitches that didn't give me glitches before. So it does happen. Okay. Let's see here. All right. These are facts. All right. All right. Kylie is where I was. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And once you get to a certain point, then it's really about the things that you need it for. And I mean, I will say this. I've used Virtual DJ. I spent a few months using Virtual DJ before I did my review. It's a great program. It's a great program. It just doesn't work for me. Rekordbox is a really good program. I can't stand to look at it though. I can't stand to look at Virtual DJ too. DJ is the first system where I enjoy looking at it. And if you enjoy looking at it, you will use it more. People always say things like, oh, a car is just a car. And I tell people there's certain things that I need in my car. Okay. The first thing, the interior needs to be good for me. Because if the interior is not good, I won't want to drive my car. So what's the point? I care more about what it looks like on the inside than what it looks like on the outside, in all honesty, because I'm looking at it all the time, constantly. I'm touching it. I'm feeling it. It's got to work for me. So, to each their own. Some people are like, oh, I just love the way it looks on the outside. Great. But you're not on the outside. No, it has to look good too. I'm not saying it doesn't, but we have to prioritize. I know it's personal, but gives yourself flexibility. VJ and Rekordbox never crashed on me, so hearing folks still using Serato after it crashed multiple times is wild. Okay, first off, Rekordbox has absolutely crashed on me before. Serato has crashed on me. I've never had a crash in Virtual DJ, and I've never had a crash in DJ. Serato crashes are predictable. You can kind of see it happening when it starts up. You kind of know. All of a sudden, you know, you throw a song on, and all of a sudden, the song's still running, but all of a sudden, everything's kind of stopped. You know, your mouse isn't working. Things are just acting a little weird. Sometimes it'll recover from that, but sometimes you have to be prepared. It may be crashing, or it's stuck, and the only way out of it is to reset Serato. But that hasn't happened in a long time. But yeah, I understand. I get that. It's still, like I said before, iOS is still not where I need it to be. And I brought that up to Angelo yesterday, and he was like, yeah, we know. We're working on some stuff to make it happen. I can't use iOS until they fix the importing of music. Can't do it yet. But I understand. What's another thing that he had said? Oh, he had also said that they're still working on their dynamic beat grids. Because the thing that I complained about, he was very aware of. Very aware. So, you know, you guys like to be passing me off. That's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. No problem. You know, hey man, yeah, it's problems sometimes. And even if it's not the biggest problem, it's still a problem. Like, it's to a point now where I don't even use the dynamic grids. I turn them off because I'm going to run. I can't do it today now that I'm DJing, but tomorrow I'm going to do a full-on analysis. You know, maybe I'll do it today. I still have many hours. I'm going to do a full-on analysis of all of my music to see if that will fix it. If it doesn't fix it, then we know. But it's not the end of the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can turn it off, and now you're just like every other program out there. Apple Music alone is a big deal for me. It's a big deal. The speed that it opens up, big deal for me. You know? Okay. All right. Guys are stuck on Virtual DJ. If you're a Virtual DJ fan, you're not going anywhere else. Because you had to program it. Well, there's so much work involved with Virtual DJ to get it to exactly the specs that you need. I understand why nobody would want to leave Virtual DJ. After you make it perfect, nobody's leaving that. Okay. Wayne, thank you. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you on that. Laid back Luke. All right, let's see here. Okay, I get that, Pablo. You know, what I will say is this. I mean, and I completely understand and agree with what you're saying. But at a certain point, everybody, if you are a working DJ, consistently working DJ, a professional, at a certain point, you've made your money back on Serato. And remember, I'm not telling you to leave Serato. Okay, I still love Serato, but all of the expenses that I put out there in Serato, I've made my money back. I can go somewhere else, you know? And the plugins, I own all these plugins. I don't use them. The only thing that, like, remotely, I'm like, I don't want to leave this, is Serato Flip. And I barely use Serato Flip. But when I do use it, it's fantastic. You learn to get over it. Okay. Sam's in the building. What's going on? Where do you feel Alpha Theta needs to fill a gap in the market with their new products? I don't think they need to fill a gap. I think they're pretty on point with everything. I mean, I would say in every field, whether it be turntablist, Turntablists have the Cross 12s and the S11. It's like the best you can have. If you're a EDM person, there's the CDJ 3000s, the A9. I think you're very happy with that. If you were a private DJ, you got your Rev 7, you got your Flex 10, you got your all-in-ones like the AZ, the Opus Quad. I think they nailed both of those. Entry level, their entry level stuff like the Flex 2, the Flex 1, or Flex 4, Rev 1, all of those are fantastic controllers for entry level. And build quality wise, I still think Alpha Theta makes the best entry level products on the market. You pick up a Rev 1 or a Flex 4, they feel really good in hand. So I don't think they need to do much of anything. Maybe they update some stuff here and there, but as far as coming out with something that is like the end all, I mean, the end all is relative. Time is relative. Therefore, everything is relative. All right, let's see here. I hope they don't go subscription only, because I'm gonna have a problem with that. Meanwhile, I have a subscription of Algorithm DJ, but it's so cheap that I don't even consider it a subscription. But if Serato went subscription based only, well, I mean, it's the same thing that I would say about Rekordbox. If Rekordbox does finally go to subscription based only, I couldn't recommend them. I couldn't, but to each their own. When are we going to scratch again? Mikey Jukes in the house. That is a very good question. I am trying to balance two things. One is I'm back into production. So I'm back to making music, and it's hard to do both music and spend more time practicing your scratching and all that stuff. So I gotta find a balance. And then with the LED walls and stuff like that, it's just hard. Is that Mitri? Like Dimitri? All of this is exciting. In the meantime, I know the Rev 7 is only a 2-channel mixer, is a secondary piece of gear that you can add to the setup to control deck 3 and 4 with pitch and volume. No, not without switching to channels 3 and 4. Nope. Okay. So Unique after, yes. So let's talk about this for half a second here. Where was I? Where did Apple go? Where did Apple go? There it is. Okay. So first things first. The Mac Mini. For a house, I mean, it's the size of a Apple TV. It's got USB jacks on the front. It's got USB-C jacks on the back, HDMI, Ethernet. I don't like the power buttons on the bottom. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. But look at the size of this thing. It's crazy. And I believe it comes, you can put a M4, I don't know if can you put an M4 Max in there? I know you can put an M4 Pro, but you can't put in a Max. Let's see here. Yeah, no, you can only put in a Pro. And they did that on purpose. The only reason why they did that is because the MacBooks. Only reason, and they'll put the Macs in the in their Mac Studio. But for $1,000, let's pop that up to a terabyte. Don't care about 10 gigabit Ethernet. Got everything else. I mean, we're $1,200. $1,200. Fine. $1,400. That is a damn good price for the power of this hardware. DJ Future 804, Mike Branch, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, fam. Goes a long way. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is an amazing, amazing piece of hardware. Okay, but that's not what we really care about because we are DJs. So let's head over to here. New MacBooks, M4s, but that's not what I'm looking at. First off, there's one thing that they're saying. Let's go to that. We're not going to look at all this. We know what it looks like. First off, they only come in space black and silver now. Fine. But check this out. So we got the M4s. Let's go down to the pros. I mean, even the M4, the regular ones are still great. 10 core GPU. I need a bigger GPU. I was looking at my old M1 Pro. My old M1 Pro has let's see, it's got 2 efficiency cores, 8 regular cores, and I think it's a 12 core GPU. Again, when I first bought it, ahead of its time, but the stuff I'm doing now is going to require more cores. So I can't even look at the regular M4s. The pros are looking better because you can get up to a 20 core right here, this 2399 one. This is the one that kind of falls into what I consider to be like the middle of the line, the best computer, especially in a 14, just because of the chassis. But this is the one that I'd recommend for most people that want like pretty much the best, but they don't want like the top. The top is here. And I'm still not convinced that an M4 Max will work in a 14-inch case without throttling. I'm still not convinced. I got to wait for the reviews to come through. But let's just say, for instance, yes, I did want to go with the Max because of the 32 core GPU, 14 cores. So this is what I think it has 10 cores and then 4 efficiency cores. Plus it's got 2 media engines. And this is kind of the key here. This is the key. Does it even show you in here? It doesn't. So on the, here, let's go to, is there a comparison? Compare Mac models. And then we'll get back to the price. All right. We'll compare. Here we go. So yeah, see this video decode engine, this video engine, the Pro and the regular have one of them, which is still impressive. But the Max, which has 2 of them. Yeah, 2 video encode engines. So for me, when I'm doing video walls and all that stuff, and I'm processing, you know, all of this, that's going to come in really, really handy. Okay, now let's go back to the Pro 14. I don't know if I can get a 16, but that's just for me. All right, so for the Max, you can go up to a 40 core GPU. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. But let's just add it in. We want that. All right. We got 48 gigs of unified memory. I'm totally fine with that. That's fine. But I have a 2 terabyte right now. No. I want a 4 terabyte. Okay. Final price. $4,700. $4,700. Now, Drew, I will ask you this. Why do you think you need 64 gigs of of memory? What do you do that you think requires 64? I'm curious. I'm not questioning, but what do you do that requires 64 gigs? Mac, why are you asking this again? I'm not going to do this right now. for a couple of reasons. One, I'll get demonetized, so I'm not going to do that. It is the price of 2 Danny Max booths, but let's see here. I bought my M1 in 2020. We're about to hit 25. Oh, gotcha, Drew. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I got it in 2020. It's almost 5 years now. And technically, I don't need to upgrade. If I was just a regular DJ, doing Final Cut edits and DaVinci Resolve or whatever, and making music in Logic or Pro Tools or whatever, I don't need to go past this. It's really just for the video work. But there is one thing that it does say. Now, I got to wait for the reviews because I have a hard time believing this. I need to see the original M1s first, because they're saying that the battery life on both the 14 and the 16 are up to 24 hours. 24 hours of battery life. Now, obviously, they're probably assuming you're hitting mail, you're watching some videos, you're browsing. Okay, it's not doing high impact stuff, is my guess. Like I guarantee you, if you open up Final Cut on there and you're doing some 4K work, some 8K work, you're probably it's gonna drop it tremendously. But if I can get 6 to 8 hours, I'll even cut it in the half and say 12 hours on a single charge running full power. Yeah, screen brightness at 20% too. But if I can get half of that in my normal, man, if the reviews come back and it says I'm getting 12 hours or I'm getting 9 hours in Final Cut, I am buying that computer without question. Without question. Because that's my only issue with this computer. It's amazing. But I can only get 4 hours if I on battery using Serato. I guarantee you, I can probably get 5 hours using DJ because it's just more efficient. But Jesus, crazy. Yeah, the internal fans never come on. They never come on. The only time my fans come on is if I'm using a piece of software that's not optimized. Only time it's ever come on. And it makes me nervous every time it comes on. I mean, look, it's expensive at 46. It's absolutely, but I'm not, chances are I'm going to end up with the 2 terabyte storage. Now I'm down to 4,000. I'm not going to get the 40 core. I'm going to get the 32 core. Now it's down to 3,600. Okay. 3,600 was, I believe, my i9 MacBook Pro when I bought it in like 16, or it could have been 18. Might have been 18. So that's a normal price. You're going to spend about, $3,500 in my opinion, for if you really want the best. My son, I bought him the entry level MacBook, the M3 MacBook. He loves that thing. Yes, Pablo, exactly. That's my point. This is absolutely my point. Me doing a whole bunch of Resolume has changed the computers I buy. Now I could buy, because here's what you could do. I could get a off the shelf PC. Will probably cost me $1,800. It's going to be, kind of shitty build quality, but it's going to have an amazing GPU inside. And that's what, Resolve and Resolume use. They use the GPU. But I'm going to spend, probably $2,000 on it. So if I'm going to spend $2,000, I'm $1,500 away from just getting a better Mac. And if I sell this Mac right now, even Apple wants to give me $1,000 for my MacBook right now if I sell it. I'm pretty sure I can sell it used for about $2K. Maybe we'll meet in the middle, $1,500. So I don't know. Resolume, is it I don't know if it's optimized for ARM, Mixmaster, but I use it every weekend and it's pretty efficient. It's pretty efficient. I rarely run into issues even using my MacBook. Just every so often, I'll just notice, little glitches here and there. Little glitches here and there when it's been running for a long time. And I'm like, I want to avoid that. So that's why I'm upgrading. But like I said, I'm using an M1 right now with a 10-core GPU. So even if I double my GPU, technically I'd probably be fine. But I'm not buying just to be the standard. I'm buying to push it over the top so I don't have to think about buying another Mac for years. I think if I buy this new one with the M4, let's say I buy the Max, let's say I don't want to go 16. I don't want to go 16. However, I have thought about this. But the problem is there's only one problem. I thought about just buying a larger iPad, get the new iPad Pro, the 12-inch, 12.9. I thought about getting the new iPad Pro 12.9 and using that to DJ with, or using that as like my walk around computer. The one I use pretty much all day. It even has DaVinci Resolve on it now, so I can even edit videos on there. I thought about that, and then getting a 16 for Resolume, for editing videos and all that stuff or whatever. I thought about that. I'm still on the fence. The problem is the thing we run into. Simple. If I decide to go DJ, full out iPad, it won't work on my Performer. Right? I don't believe DJ works on Performer on the iPad. So if it doesn't work on Performer, I can't use it. I know. I'm going to buy another license, Drew, on Black Friday just to have it. Because now the only good thing they did, Resolume does something that a lot of companies don't do. So I originally bought, Resolume Avenue, not Arena, because I'm like, it gives me everything I need. I'm using one box. This is fine. And then I started doing, split panels and different configurations. And in order to do, slicing, which is how you split the visuals on panels, in order to do that, you have to use, Arena. It does work with the Rev, Keith Just. You have to use Arena. And I didn't realize that when I first bought it. So I think out of the box, it was like, I don't know, $400. Because I didn't buy it over Black Friday because I needed it. And then I'm like, damn, I gotta get Arena. And I actually messaged them and they were going to give me a deal. But to make a long story short, they have an upgrade path. So even though I had bought Avenue, they have an upgrade path for Arena. So I just upgraded it and it only cost me like $300 to upgrade. So that's one thing a lot of companies don't do. I appreciated that, but I'm still going to buy one more license. I might even buy 2 licenses over Black Friday just to have, because I'll have other people I'm going to be training to run the LED walls. So they got to have it all. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is not the same balance. The T7 was different. The Performer lacks the necessary. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is dead right now. It's not compatible because it's not open sources in my head. The wrong word. Mixmaster will know what I'm trying to say. I just can't remember it right now. But it won't work. Unfortunately. I get that. And don't get me wrong, Resolume has its problems. I've had Resolume crap out on me on a couple of times, you know. But that's why I'm starting to think maybe it's just I just need a better GPU. Okay, let's see here. There we go. I thought so. Yeah, but it needs an update here or there because it can be a little glitchy sometimes. A little bit. Class compliant. Thank you, Mixmaster. I knew you'd come up with it. Class compliant. The performer is not class compliant. Basically, I know a lot of people in here know this, but the bottom line here is that if it's class compliant, it's essentially anybody can tap into it. Okay. If it's not class compliant, that means that the company, the manufacturer has drivers that are required to run the hardware. You can't put drivers on an iPad. So it has to be class compliant, meaning it already has everything built into the hardware. So the iPad can just access it all. And there's just certain things that won't work. So that's the one thing that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love DJ, but DJ on an iPad, you know, is the thing. I had to go back. Unfortunately, I have the Denon Prime Go back in my truck because I can't use the iPad as a backup like I could with the Rev 7. The Rev 7, I have my computer as my main, and then I had the iPad sitting there as a backup in case the computer crashed, and then I could just DJ right off my iPad. Can't do that. Yeah, they're very big on that. Very big on that. Anyway, so okay, let's see here. Yeah, I used my 2012 for the photo booth, but in a pinch, it could absolutely still work as a DJ software if it were allowed to be upgraded. But it still works. It doesn't work well. I mean, let's be honest with you. I mean, and like the graphics card is turned to crap after the pandemic, but it still works. Okay. I think Patrick's question, I don't know. A lot of people, when they ask this question, it's really because they want more music. Like I've had people like, hey, you ever think about selling your hard drive? No, I'm not trying to make you a better DJ. I don't know you like that. The only DJ that I've given my hard drive to, and it has absolutely made him a better DJ, considerably faster than any way he could have done it on his own, is my son. That's the only person I've literally just copied my hard drive and been like, here you go. And he's a much better. What laptop are you using right now? Didn't I just say that? I'm using MacBook Pro M1. What are my settings here? 32 gigs of memory, 2 terabyte hard drive, and let's see what my cores are for my graphics here. My cores are yeah, I know my coverage expired. Leave me alone. Why'd you do that? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So mine is 10 core which was so big when I first got it. And my graphics, 16 core. So I want to double that. I want to double my GPU. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not exactly where I want to. I just want to get it a little faster. Okay. So yeah, you don't actually have to copy your entire computer. Now, I will say this. If you just copy your music folder, you're fine. If just for DJing, it's going to have everything in there. But every so often, you got some files that maybe are in your download folder, maybe they're somewhere else that are not in your computer, and now you're running into an issue. So it's safer to clone your drive completely. But yeah, anytime I've needed to get when my son broke his computer, because he does that, he breaks MacBooks. I had to give him back the red computer, which I use now for just controlling my Novastar processor for my LED wall. All it does is just fix my configuration. But his computer broke, so he had to use that for 2 weeks while he was getting his computer repaired. And I just took my music folder and then put it right back on there. Yes, the XMG. The XMG has a terrible graphics card. So you can't use that in any other capacity but DJing. Or, your standard stuff. But my MacBook is for all my video stuff. XMG at the time was a good computer. It was a good computer. It really was at the time. But they're no longer even working on it. And the guy that was responsible for it left the company. He doesn't even do it anymore. So it's not there. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. All right. Oh, are we at the bottom? What time is it? 12:30? Let me just check my my calls here. Okay. I got a minute or so. I mean, I got more than a minute. Okay. All right, guys. Any more questions? Let me know. Let me know. I'll try to answer the rest of the questions. M1 for... Yeah, man. You got a problem with my M1, Drew? It's been working just fine. But I do want to get a faster one. So why no... God. So why no costume? Very simple reason. I had a costume. I ran out of time. I have the shirt right there, but the things that I needed to make it fully work, I ran out of time. And I've just been busy. That's all. No, thank you. Backing up on the cloud is fine. It's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. If you have the space, back up to the cloud. But I prefer to not only back up to the cloud, if you're going to do that, but to have an actual external piece of hardware. Because if you back up to the cloud and for whatever reason your computer crashes, I wear glasses. Wayne, is that a problem with my glasses? You don't like my glasses? Well, tough. You're going to have to get used to them because I do wear glasses. Sorry, man. I have delayed getting glasses for the longest time. So I finally bit the bullet. And I have been seriously blind. Not in a bad way. I can still see everything and I can still see text, but the clarity of the world I can't believe, I can't believe how much I've been missing out on. T Dizzle in the building. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you on that. Thank you. It does keep the lights on. Blame the video walls. You can blame everything, in all honesty. You can blame me looking at computer screens as I DJ and doing this in the dark. Like there's lots of reasons why. And I have an astigmatism, which means if nobody has one here, I've had an astigmatism, and it means that my eyes don't focus fast enough. So if I'm looking at something, I'll be able to see the word, see the shape. I can read the word, but it never gets truly clear. This stops the astigmatism. So everything's crisp. I've been watching movies going, oh my God. So this is what 4K looks like. Like I totally forgot. Like even I have a computer, like my man room. And when I tell you I've been watching movies and I just thought that the TCL TV that I have in that room was just not that good a quality because I have Sony 4Ks throughout my house. But my little man room, I have, God, what is going on with my throat? With all the man rooms, I have that. That's funny, Drew. I always assumed it was slim. I always assumed it was slim. So even then, it's just name recognition. Yeah, but now I'm better. Okay. Yeah, no, that's too much. I need to pull it. Okay. First of all, Mac. First of all, I know you're a technology guy, and I appreciate that. But there's no way in the world you're going to tell me, no way in the world, that cloud storage is so perfect all the time. There's no way you're going to tell me that. There have been plenty. There was a time now. I had stuff I was downloading on my computer. I uploaded it to Dropbox. And for whatever reason, Dropbox did not upload last night, which is why it took so long to get even the show started. Because every so often, even clouds glitch, So yeah, a hard drive does crash. It does. But I'm going to tell you this. I still have at least 6 drives that are still perfectly fine. And they're like a decade old, 15 years old. So yes, I don't trust platter disks, but a solid state drive, I don't have any problems with. I've had one solid state drive crash on me, and I have more than one backup for my hard drive. But here's the thing. The one thing you're not thinking about, and technically, yes, I know. If you're using DJ, you can potentially stream your cloud songs over. But what if you are in a place where you can't stream? What if you're in a dead zone? So having an external drive is a lifesaver. What if your computer dies and you had to borrow somebody else's computer? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's good to have a cloud storage, but that's not the end all. That's still an unsafe thing. Cloud storage is a backup solution. It's not a emergency solution. It's an emergency solution if you have to restore your system, but it's not necessarily a backup if your computer just goes down. It's not really a backup, in my opinion. Because of what I just explained. You get to a place, there's no internet, you can't pull anything down. You don't need internet for a hard drive. You just plug it in. That's all I'm saying. That's all. You can only trust technology so far. Sometimes having something hard in your hand. Pause. Pablo, don't say a word. Oh my God. Oh, so let's see what this guy's got going on. God, I hate this guy. Oh, man. Let me just see.
So,
I hate his face. Hate his face. Dislike. Anyway, you should have an external hard drive. You should. But back to the MacBook. Once the reviews come out in the next couple of days, I'm sure The Verge will have something today, probably. Once the reviews come out, I will start to review. Yeah, I mean, let's see here. I bought a refurb MacBook Pro when I bought it. It was a refurb. I bought it in 2020, but I bought it like 6 months later. I think I paid, I want to say I paid like $2,800, somewhere around there, maybe closer to $3,000, but I think it was around there. I think it was like $2,699 because it was refurb. And they still want to give me $1,000 for it, or I put it on the market and wait for some Craigslist or eBay guy to buy it from me. No, you can't, Mac Joseph. No, you can't. Yes, in theory, if your internet is fine, you can. What if it's not? What if you're downstairs in a basement? What if you're just in a bad zone? I've had plenty of times where I can tell you right now, there's spots in LA where there is absolutely no signal whatsoever. I would never think about streaming there. Same concept. You guys are trusting your technology a little too much. This is what I will say in general. I mean, there's tons of people. I tell my DJs, what do you do in case your computer crashes? And they look at me insane. I'm like, dude, you gotta have a backup of some kind. I don't care if you just got, a 2-hour DJ set on your phone. You gotta have a backup. You absolutely have to have a backup. These people pay way too much money to not have a legitimate backup. And I'm not talking about battery backup, and that's not your problem. I'm talking about stuff that you have the responsibility to have. Carbon copy cloner is a good one. Super duper is another one that's great. They all work. They all do the job. Yeah. So, refurbs are always great. Always. Look. Hold on. Let's go to the. All right. What do we just say here? This is a M4 Max 14, 36 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage. Okay. Let's go over. Can't see this. Store, refurb. Where are you? Certified refurbished. Okay. Let's go to the store. Let's go to the pros. That's not what I wanted to do. I clicked on refurb. What the hell? Certified refurbished. There we go. Sorry. Okay. So, MacBook Pro 14. Finish. And we don't really care. We'll just keep it silver right now, or whatever they have. Memory. Why won't you let me? Well, that's weird. Doesn't like my display. Oh, there we go. Okay. What do we say? We said 36. So we'll just say 36. And then we will say, fine, 2 terabytes. All right. So we are at M3 Max chip, 2,700. That's what I paid. 2,700. So in theory, I could absolutely buy this guy right here, and it would shit on my M1. Absolutely. What are my specs? 14 core. Yeah, I could buy this one. This is the one I should buy. In all honesty, this is the one I should buy. $2,700. My laptop's $1,000. Maybe I get 1,200 for it if I buy it. I'd probably just sell it. So let's say I sell it for $1,000. It's going to cost me $1,700. Same price if I were to buy a new a laptop, a PC. It's going to cost me at least $1,500 to $2,000. And then that's all I need. That's it. So, because the jump from M3 to M4 is not as big as the jump from M1. Yes, but Drew is correct. The bandwidth is huge. Thunderbolt 5, I don't really care about. I don't use a lot of externals. That's never been a thing for me. But absolutely, the bandwidth is like double the bandwidth of the M3s on the Max. So, I mean, I haven't bought a new computer in since my second computer. No, my first computer. My first MacBook, which I believe was a 2008 or 9 MacBook. It had the optical drive. I bought that from a guy that worked at Apple Corporate, got a ridiculous deal on it. That was my first and only brand new computer. Every other computer I've ever bought has been refurb or used. Every single other computer. And they've all been rock solid. So Drew, the battery life is what we're waiting for. I'm waiting for the reviews. Because a lot of times, that up to is always, it's marketing speak. But if the reviews come back and they're like, I've been getting a serious 10 hours, 12 hours of time doing everything and not plugging it in, yeah, then I'm buying it. My partner's just going to have to deal with the fact that I'm about to buy a new MacBook. As a matter of fact, with the four walls that we have, I will probably buy it sometime next month. In all honesty. And he'll just have to get over it. We have to wait and see. I'm hoping. The only problem I have is DJing, because do the M4s work yet? I haven't even looked. Because what came out first on the M4s? iPads and the MacBook Air? I don't think anything's come out. I think the MacBook and the Mac Mini are the first M4s. I think they're the first M4s. So the question is, will it work with DJing? I know it's going to work with DJ, with algorithm DJ, because there's never been a time that an operating system hasn't come out where it hasn't worked for DJ. So I know it's going to work for that. So technically speaking, I could upgrade my entire system. But damn if it doesn't scare the hell out of me. I've never been current. I've never been current on any operating system for DJing and or music production. So for the past 25 years, I've always been 1 to 2 operating systems behind. No. Wait, Drew, nothing works on Sequoia yet. What do you mean? Are you telling me that Resolume doesn't work on Sequoia? Because I know that I know that Algorithm DJ will work on Sequoia. Absolutely. But let me know if you're talking about Resolume. Final Strata switch. Maybe. Don Cannon's using it on Sequoia. Oh yeah, Serato. Yeah, so if Serato doesn't work for a while, I'm fine. I've been on DJ for the past couple of months. So it'd be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh my God, am I a full-time DJ? Algorithm DJ? They gotta change that name. They gotta change that name. I'm tired of saying DJ. Gotcha, Donald. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's just too many little things that are just working for DJ. Gotcha, Mixmaster. Gotcha. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, Keith, we just found out during this show that it is optimized for the 7.11 is optimized for silicon, Apple silicon. Anyway, I mean, but come on, it's Record Box. Who cares? I know people at Alpha Theta that don't love their own Record Box. Like they prefer Serato or DJ. And there's nothing wrong with Record Box, but it is what it is, you know. Anyway. So, I got a lot to think about. It might be happening sooner than later. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. My favorites are always the people that are like working in restaurants. And I know they have to eat that same food, so they go off, but it always throws me when I see somebody who works at a restaurant, and like they got their restaurant gear on and they're eating something else. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean your food's bad? Does that mean I shouldn't eat this food? What does that mean? Anyway. I try to keep things under wraps. You know, that's the NDA concern in me. Okay, Pablo says, you still happy with the QSC setup? Absolutely. My QSC setup has not failed me one time. And I haven't been in a situation that I've needed to go bigger. Let's see, the biggest I've done with the QSCs, I did a party with, I want to say it was like 275 people. That's the biggest party that I've done with them. And it had basically reached its max. The room wasn't the most humongous room. But anything bigger, I'd probably still get either a secondary setup or bring some more subs in. But yeah, the QSC 12.2s and the 118s, Donald. The QSCs have just been, they're the perfect size to performance ratio that I've seen. So it wins. The L class is cool, but there's just so much unnecessary stuff for me. I don't want to go array. I really don't want to go array. You know, I like where I'm at right now. You know, that's just more stuff to deal with. Anyway, all right, Drew, thanks for hanging out. Have a great Halloween. All right, yeah, we're only on here for another 12 minutes maximum, and then I gotta go. I've been having issues with my Yamaha subs. Oh my God, not your Yamaha, the one you swear by, which are covered under warranty, but just learn the process for repair. Yeah, that's always a problem. Always a problem. Anytime you go with sources that aren't as consistent through retail, is that, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with the QSCs. They've been great for me. And you use the 8s. Wow. Good for you. No, I actually have a 1 o'clock call that I do need to get on. Maybe a few Friday. So there won't be any Black Friday deals for the Macs. Apple doesn't do that. I might, the only discount I'll probably be able to do, in fact, I know I'll be able to do, my son goes to LMU. So I will be able to at least get a little bit of a discount. What is that? Apple.com/student discounts. Okay. Let's try this one more time then. MacBook Pro. All right. So the MacBook Pro that I was looking at, Max with the 32 core. Let me just do some quick upgrading real quick. Okay. So it's a good almost $400 cheaper on the student site. Getting cheaper. You know, it's funny. The problem with me is I'm like, well, it's cheaper, so I might as well just update to this 40 core. Might as well do that. But now I'm up to 48 gigs. It's only $20 more. Now, this is a business purchase. I know a lot of people buy things with just big old eyes, like when you go to the grocery store hungry, you just buy stuff. This is an actual business purchase. Not just me wanting something, but actually something I need in order to do my job better. That wasn't for you guys. That was for me justifying. Yes. Yeah. Look, I know people love to shit on Apple. I know. Oh, Apple tax. Oh, this. Yes, you're absolutely correct. There is an Apple tax. And yes, their storage prices, their upgrade storage prices are stupid for how much they charge for it. I agree 100%. Doesn't change the fact that I love MacBooks. That doesn't change the fact that it's still to this day, their processors are faster than anything coming out of Intel, anything coming out of Qualcomm. It's still faster. And my ability to sync everything together. And now with the newest, with Sequoia, and the fact that I haven't even tried it yet, but my iPhone can be sitting over to the side and I can bring up my phone and use my phone like it's in my hand. Come on, people. Like, there's the trade-offs, man. It's the trade-offs. It's absolutely the trade-offs. And it's gonna take, I don't know what it would take to get me to leave Apple. I honestly don't. It is a part of my life. I got Apple TVs in my house. I mean, the copying and pasting a text message here, putting it in another one over here, copy a picture, paste. I can't leave. I can't leave. Can't leave. I won't leave. You can't make me. Every so often I'll see one of those flip phones, like the Samsung Galaxy Fold, and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. But then I saw one thing from what is it, Mr. Who's the Boss? He's a British guy, British Indian guy. He's amazing videos, amazing reviews. But he said something that made a lot of sense because he was reviewing this Hawaii, I think it's how you pronounce her name, Huawei or whatever. He was reviewing the trifold flip. And he was like, look, the problem with flip phones is, yeah, you know, when you're using your flip phone, if you're using it on the top, if you're using it like a regular phone where you have, you know, you want to use it, you don't want to open it up, well, then it has to be taller because you have to get your content on. But because it's taller, when you open it up, it's a square. And then if you're watching a video or doing something, the borders are going to drop it down. And he picked up his iPhone Pro Max and he put it up next to the Samsung. And the video screen was the exact same size. So he goes, the trifold gives you more real estate. So now you can have more screen. And I was like, I never even thought of that. You're not actually getting any more size for certain things. Yes, you can multitask and all that stuff. But I mean, honestly, how many people are multitasking on their flips in reality? And it's like $2,500 for a phone. It's insane. Insane. But I'm saying Apple. Staying Apple. Just works, says Sergeant P. Exactly. Had to airdrop an audio for a video during a wedding straight from the client to be played immediately. The convenience of that. Yeah, exactly. And most people, you know, it's funny because statistically speaking, more people have Android phones than Apple phones. But why is it that every time I'm talking to somebody, it's like 8 out of 10 people have iPhones? So I guess we're saying is most people in California have iPhones. Maybe somewhere in the middle of the country, people are like, Android phones are fine. I got my phone for $300. It was fine. But California, New York, you know, all these upper people, you know, they spend the money. You know, that's why they can't afford to pay for their bar mitzvah because everything else costs so much money out here. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, and DJ Bug, I absolutely know that. I know overseas, Android is much larger. I absolutely know that, but I'm not overseas. I'm here, and when I'm talking to my family members, I mean, they did fix the RCS, so now the chats don't get screwed up like they used to. If you're in a group chat with a Android, but just being able to airdrop stuff to my wife, to my kid, being able to know exactly where they are without having to throw in a third-party app because I can just find you know, being able to find all of my gear, you know. Oh, I mean, literally, like, you know, hey Siri, find my Apple Watch. And then it's nearby.
Apple Watch now.
It's vibrating on my ear. Phone, it's noise. It's shit like that I can't leave. I can't leave. There's no way I can leave. No way. It just works. So I will once they tell me, I mean, it might be right now with YouTube. Let me just check YouTube for the MacBooks here real quick. I'm surprised that I haven't seen anything from MKBHD. And I feel bad for him. He's getting shitted on right now. Or is it shite? He really is. I don't know why all of a sudden all this hate's coming from MKBHD. All of a sudden, the world hates influencers. All of a sudden. And he does amazing work. Like, same thing with Who's the Boss. They are the same price. They can be. If you're buying a Samsung, they are the same price. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm waiting for my review. I cannot believe the big guys haven't released one yet. Interesting. All right, there's one from Apple Insider. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I will be looking at when I hang up the phone with you after my calls today. And I might buy a Mac Mini just for the desk. Just for the desk. I might. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the guy lives in New Jersey. I, you know, I, I don't know. It's just bizarre. They're accusing him of, first off, they're saying right now that Apple is paying him. He came out with his app for video wallpaper or desktop wallpapers and phone wallpapers, and he charged a fee. Everybody hated it. And then the moment he did that, it like opened up the doors for everybody to just be assholes. Even when he was like, you guys are right. I made a mistake. I'm changing it. This is how I'm fixing it. People were still like, I don't care. You're a terrible person now. The world is one way now. If you do something bad, nobody allows you to like recover from it. You can't just apologize now. I don't understand how this world works. Like, you're like, I apologize. It doesn't matter. You're a bad person. You're like, oh my God. First off, I just came out with a wallpaper app. You don't have to buy that wallpaper app. Why are you these social justice warriors are nightmares now. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, that's so true. So true. It is what it is. So Pablo, no, my Wave 8s had to go back. But I'll tell you this, my Wave 8s had to go back. I'm trying to get another set, which I will at some point. I also want to truly try out the Everse. The Everse. It's not even woke cancel. In all honesty, Mixmaster, like it's first of all, I hate that woke has been literally just like abducted and turned into this completely incorrect term for woke. I really do hate that. That is not what woke meant. It's not what the original term for woke meant. I can't stand it. Anyway, maybe it's just a bad time. It's a bad time to be doing anything in the public eye, in all honesty. I do have Thumb Goes, Pablo. Thumb Goes have been my go-to. They've been working just fine. I'm waiting on the Everse to do a proper review of the Everse. And I won't use the Bose because I've used the Bose now. And the Bose S1 distorts at not even that high of a volume, in all honesty. So I would never buy the S1s. But the Everse is still an option. The Wave 8s were good. They're not the most attractive, but the technology behind them is great. You know, I mean, the technology behind the Wave 8s is the same technology that are in the new headphones. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, I know, Keith. I used them one time in the wedding that I did in Montana. I used the Wave 8s. So, I mean, not the Wave 8, the Everse. And it was good. It was good, but it was just for cocktail. I was never really outside. So we'll have to see. All right, guys, I got to go. My phone call, it's 1:02. I got to get out of here. I had a very nice Happy Halloween picture. And I didn't get a chance to get it up. So you're just going to have to enjoy the original. But thank you guys for hanging out today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. Get some candy. No. Get some candy. Get some candy for me. I'm supposed to be going on a cleanse tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm supposed to be going on a cleanse. I got to have candy first. I got to have candy first. I can't just have a cleanse. I mean, not with Snickers coming. My daughter's allergic to nuts. I got a shit ton of Snickers coming. I can't let that go. So maybe I'll go on a partial. Anyway, favorite candy. peanut and chocolate. Peanut and chocolate. So anything with peanut and chocolate. So peanut M&Ms, Snickers. I like toffee too. I like toffee. Like those are my go-tos. Those are my go-tos. If they're in Reese's peanut butter cups, a fresh Reese's peanut butter cup, I will stop all cleanses, all eating right. If I get a bag of super fresh Reese's peanut butter cups, you can't let that just sit there and go bad. You got to eat that. You got to eat that. You have to enjoy the freshness of a perfect Reese's peanut butter cup. I didn't make the rules. That's just absolute facts. Because there's so many times you'll bite into one, you think it's fresh, and it's like powder flying from your mouth. But when they're fresh, there is nothing better. Pablo, I have the dark chocolate peanut butter cups. They're fine. They're not Reese's peanut butter cups though. But I absolutely do eat them sometimes. My wife buys them, but they're not Reese's. A fresh Reese's supersedes any other candy. Any other candy, unless you're allergic to peanut butter. And then I'm sorry, but you should probably risk dying. You absolutely should risk dying for a super fresh Reese's peanut butter cup. You only live once. That experience you can take with you to your grave. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. I got to run. I got to get out of here. Enjoy your day. I will see you guys next Thursday. Peace out.